And this piece, I picked it up in Paris.
Paris? Yes. How did you get it here?
Two very emotional stories that show us some lessons about forgiveness, tolerance, humility, and acceptance. I believe this one was very moving, and the casting above all did a great job with portraying these specific stories, and amazingly told, amazingly performed, and it was quite an experience to watch this one.
I like the use of boxing as a metaphor for relationship dynamics. I thought that was interesting.
I really thought it was a very emotional, turbulent kind of roller coaster ride, and I thought the use of the martial arts and the fighting it's always such a great metaphor for life and the struggles we face and getting knocked down and keep getting back up again. It's always a really powerful storytelling tool. I thought it worked really well for two girls definitely going through their own kind of struggles and facing demons and trying to work their way through it. It was a very, very touching, very sincere piece of storytelling.
This was a really beautiful film showing these two young women with very different and individual struggles coming together to work it all out on the ring. I really enjoyed how seeing the fight scenes really showed their strength as well as their struggle at the same time. They both had very serious issues with both of their parents, but each of them found it in their hearts to go back and give them a second chance, which I thought was really, really beautiful. And the sentiment was also echoed at the end of the film, where the two girls tapped out of their fight and then shared a beer together. All three stories really came together and completed really nicely, and I really loved the way that it was told.
It was really dimensional. I really liked that there were multiple storylines going on here simultaneously. I really like how the film happens in a boxing sandwich from start to finish. It seems like each daughter is been put in her own box by her family, and perhaps that's why they boxed to begin with. I like the direction used to tell all the stories and the fact that they seem to meet in the middle of the ring.
I enjoyed this one. I thought it was interesting the way they give us a sort of parallel between the inner lives and the social family lives of some of the characters, the two characters, and what's going on in the ring, it being almost a parallel sort of allegorical device used to kind of match up with what's going on in their lives. And it kept things interesting. It kept things rolling, and the pacing was really good. I liked a lot about this. Thought the characters were interesting. It definitely was, for me at least, like a new spin on a story that I've heard a couple of times, at least in film. It's this ongoing struggle that people have to, come out to their friends and families, or, dealing with other issues at home.
I liked how in Roll Pin Punch, we had the two characters and we got to see parts of their stories that brought them to that moment that was sandwiched in between all of their flashbacks. And I absolutely loved the acting. I felt that there was a lot of nonverbal dialogue moments between the characters that were very emotional, and I thought that was very moving.
I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was well paced, but the time frame itself was also well done. You felt like you got a complete story from both sides of the fight, and the fight itself felt complete, so at the end of it you didn't feel like you were kind of missing anything, which was super nice.
I like this piece. I thought it, it's very powerful. The performances are great. I feel like that's the biggest takeaway from my perspective, is that everybody just knocked it out of the park with their performances, going from fight choreography to very heavy emotional scenes is not hard, or it's not difficult. No, sorry, it's not easy to do. It's really difficult, and I think that these actors have a lot to be proud of. As with the filmmakers, the director, and like the writer, I thought it was really great, and this piece covers a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Great job.
First thing I want to say about this piece is yes for feminism. I was just loving the powerful female characters in this film, and kind of alongside that, I think the editing really did work to showcase the power of these characters and kind of create depth. What I mean by that is just this succession of the different storylines and kind of this faster pace, only to bring both the stories together and kind of slow it down, really allowed the audience to feel and relate to the characters, and that was something that I really appreciated, and I think it made what they were feeling that much more impactful.